Little girl keeps following Hell's Angel for help. When he realizes why, he breaks into tears before we begin this emotional story. Tell us where in the world you're watching from. And don't forget to subscribe to Biker's Hype for more real, powerful biker stories that touch the heart. The evening sun dipped low over the city skyline, turning the glass buildings into shimmering amber pillars. Jake Reaper Sullivan swung his leg over his Harley, the engine ticking softly beneath him as it cooled. His muscles ached from a full day at the mechanic shop. Brake jobs, oil changes, busted belts, and the typical parade of stubborn engines. He rolled his shoulders, feeling the tension settle into his bones. IT was supposed to be an ordinary ride home, but fate never asked permission. Just as Reaper reached for the ignition, a flicker of movement caught his eye. At first, he thought it was a stray dog or someone searching for the bus stop. But as the small figure stepped from the cluster of pedestrians, his breath caught that a little girl, maybe 8 years old. Her tangled hair fell in uncombed waves. Her clothes were dirt-stained and her small hands trembled at her sides. Her eyes shimmered with unshed tears, wide, terrified, begging for something she didn't know how to say. Kids didn't wander alone here. Not in this part downtown. Not at dusk. Reaper stood slowly, concern tightening his chest. "Hey, kiddo," he said, voice rough yet gentle. "You okay? Where are your folks?" She didn't answer. Instead, she walked straight toward him. Her steps were uneven, as though she'd been running for miles. She stopped right in front of him, right in the shadow of his leather vest, and let out a tiny whimper that shattered him to the core, a sound that didn't belong in a child's world, a sound of desperation. Before he could speak again, the girl turned sharply, grabbed his vest with surprising force, and tugged him toward a narrow alley. "Please," she whispered. "Please help. Mama, my mama needs help." The words hit Reaper like a blow. This wasn't a lost kid. This was a child in crisis. And though his instincts screamed caution, something deeper, something buried beneath years of scars, pushed him forward. "All right," he murmured. "Show me." The transition from bustling sidewalk to shadow-choked alley felt like crossing into another world. The city noise faded, swallowed by dripping pipes, piles of trash bags, and graffiti-stained brick walls. The girl squeezed his hand with bone-deep fear, yet undeniable determination. She had walked this path before. Too many times. Reaper lifted his phone, flashlight beam cutting through the darkness. The stench of rot and cold dampness filled the air. The little girl navigated obstacles like she knew every broken crate and every rusted dumpster. He realized this place was more familiar to her than any home should be. Then he heard a coughing sound, weak, wet, painful. Then a rattling breath that made every hair on Reaper's neck rise. His flashlight stopped on a pile of blankets and cardboard boxes. A makeshift shelter. A last attempt at survival. The girl darted forward, dropping to her knees. "Mama, I brought someone good. I brought help. Mama, wake up." Reaper took a step closer and froze. Under the filthy blanket lay a young woman. Early 20s, maybe late 20s, but hardship had carved deep hollows into her cheeks. Her skin was ghost pale, sweating and trembling, her lips cracked and bleeding, her body so thin he could see her ribs through her shirt. She wasn't just sick, she was dying. Reaper knelt beside her, touching the burning heat of her forehead. "How long has she been like this?" The child wiped her tears with the back of her hand. 3 days, maybe 4. She stopped eating, stopped drinking. She told me to find someone good, someone who wouldn't leave. Reaper swallowed hard. That someone was him. "What's your name, sweetheart?" "Lily," she whispered. "And my mama is Grace." Reaper nodded gently. "I'm Reaper. I know the name sounds scary, but I'm one of the good guys." Grace's eyes fluttered open, landing on her daughter, then on Reaper. In that moment, he saw everything: fear, shame, love, exhaustion, and pleading. She was begging silently, "Please save my little girl." And Reaper made a promise right then, a vow carved into his soul. "I've got you," he whispered. "I'm not leaving you to die in this alley." He wrapped his leather vest around Grace's shivering body and lifted her gently. The shock of how light she was nearly broke him. "Lily, grab my belt. Don't let go." She obeyed instantly. Reaper carried Grace through the alley, every heartbeat racing against time. He dialed his club brother on the way out. "Tommy, get my truck here. Now." "What's wrong?" Tommy asked. "Just get here." 5 minutes. 5 unbearable minutes later. The truck screeched to a stop. Reaper flew into the back seat with Grace in his arms, while Lily climbed in beside him. "County General," Reaper barked. "Drive like hell." Tommy did that. Grace's breaths grew shorter, shallower, more broken. Reaper held her tighter. "Stay with me, Grace," he begged quietly. "Your daughter needs you. Don't leave her. Don't leave us." But her eyes rolled back, and for a moment, Reaper feared he was carrying a dying woman. The ER doors burst open as Reaper roared for help. Nurses rushed in, placed Grace on a gurney, and wheeled her away in a blur of motion. Lily screamed, trying to follow. Reaper caught her before she could collapse. "It's okay," he whispered, voice trembling. "They're helping her." The girl sobbed into his chest, her tiny hands clutching his shirt. Reaper's own heart cracked. He knew this feeling too well. He had been 8 when his own mother died, alone in a hospital. No one held him. No one told him it would be okay. He had sat in silence, eyes burning, waiting for a mother who never came back. But Lily wouldn't face this alone. Not tonight. Not ever. Hours passed. Lily eventually cried herself to sleep in his lap. Reaper's tears slipped silently down his face as he held her. "Please," he whispered into the still room. "Let her mother live. This kid deserves better." When the doctor finally arrived, Reaper braced himself. "Your mother is stable," the doctor said softly to Lily. Reaper nearly collapsed with relief. Can we see her?" Lily whispered. "Soon." The doctor nodded. "You got her here just in time." Reaper closed his eyes. Thank God. Thank God. Grace remained in critical care for a week. Reaper stayed at the hospital every spare second. He bought Lily meals, sat with her during schoolwork, told her stories about engines and motorcycles. When Grace finally woke, her first word was, "Lily," and her second was, "You saved me." Reaper shook his head gently. "No, Lily saved you. I just carried you out of hell." Grace squeezed his hand with trembling fingers. "You showed up," she whispered. "No one ever shows up." And in her eyes, Reaper saw the truth. Lily had not been her only lifeline. The biker had become one too. When Grace was discharged, she had nowhere to go and no home. No family. No safety. Reaper had something she didn't expect. A spare room. "I can't accept this," Grace whispered at the doorstep. "It's not charity," Reaper said. "It's a hand up." Lily hugged his leg. "Can we really stay? Please." Grace hesitated. Then she nodded. "Okay." Reaper didn't know then that opening his door would open his heart. Those first weeks were chaos. Toys everywhere. Lily running through the apartment. Grace cleaning when she should have been resting. Reaper burning pancakes every morning. But slowly, they became something real. Family, he taught Lily to ride a bike in the parking lot. Grace cooked dinners when she regained her strength. Reaper and Grace talked late into the night about their past, their fears, their hopes. His one silent apartment now echoed with laughter. And every morning, the smell of coffee and cartoons whispered a truth he couldn't deny. He belonged here. With them, Grace found a job at a medical clinic. Lily thrived at school. Reaper's club noticed a change in him. "You're going soft?" Tommy teased, but they all knew better. Reaper wasn't soft, he was alive. Yet when Grace mentioned saving money, moving out, building a future, Reaper felt something he hadn't felt in decades. Fear of loss. That night, Lily climbed into his lap. "When we move out, will I still see you?" Reaper swallowed hard. "Always." But Lily shook her head. "I don't want to move. I want to stay. With you." Later, Grace spoke softly. "We need to talk about this. Lily is attached. I'm attached. If this is temporary, I need to prepare." "It's not obligation," Reaper said quietly. "Then what is it?" she whispered. He paced. Struggling. Breaking open. "I don't want you to leave," he confessed. "I just didn't think. Someone like you would want to stay with someone like me." Grace stepped closer, tears filling her eyes. "You saved us. You are exactly the man I never thought I'd find." Reaper took her hands. "I love you," he said, voice raw. "I love both of you." From the hallway came a tiny voice. "Are you kissing so we can stay forever?" Reaper laughed through tears. Grace nodded. "Yeah, kiddo. Forever." Lily squealed with joy as Reaper lifted her, spinning her in the air, and in that moment he knew. Family isn't blood. Family is chosen. And he chose them. Always. Grace recovered fully. Lily grew stronger every day. Reaper's home transformed into a place of warmth and belonging. The girl who once wandered the streets searching for someone good had found a father. The mother who had lost hope had found protector. The biker who believed he was unworthy of love had found it in its purest form. They hadn't just survived, they had healed. Together, the small girl's desperate cry had changed everything, and what began as a plea for help became the miracle of a lifetime. Because sometimes the strongest families are the ones born from broken pieces. Pieces that fit perfectly when brought together by love. If this story touched your heart, make sure to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Bikers Hype. We're on a mission to reach 1,000 subscribers, and your support helps us grow. Also, comment your name below if you want us to use your name in the next biker story. And if you truly love the Hell Angels, prove your love and share this video right now.